What's going on YouTube? Rob A here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Masterpiece MP22 Cybertron City Commander Ultra Magnus. Yeah, he's finally out. He's finally arrived at my doorstep, and I'm pretty excited to finally see what this guy's all about. So as you can see, the box is very large. Like, I can't really get it all in frame just because of the size of my desk here is rather small, so do bear with me. I apologize. So you can see he's sporting kind of a cartoon accurate paint deco here with the weird red bumper on the front of the cab. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but it's, you know, it is what it is. There are worse problems to be had in life, I assure you. And Ultra Magnus himself looks pretty neat, very thick, very chunky. Again, I'm going to say this right off the bat. This is a Masterpiece figure that I'm a little bit on the fence about. Usually when I see a Masterpiece figure in pictures or whatever, I'm in love. Like, you know, I'm like, I just want to see how the thing transforms. Just send it to me. Let me play with it. This guy, I'm kind of like, I mean, he looks okay. I hope he's all right. He looks very thick, very chunky, kind of weird. But you know, that remains to be seen. There is no window on the box, so I can't open it up like that and just check out what he looks like. So we're just going to have to learn together. On the back here, you can see he's got a bunch of features going on. He's got his gun, of course. He has a Matrix compartment in his chest. I don't know if he comes with a Matrix or if you can just take the one from MP10 Optimus Prime and stick that in there. He also comes with, and I learned this, he comes with an extra set of hands that can hold the Matrix, because you can't actually hold them with the normal hands. The fingers just don't, they're too big. They just don't work that way. He's also got a yelling face that you can switch out here. He can shake hands with MP10 if you so desire, and can, of course, carry a bunch of cars in his trailer as he is meant to do. So here he is next to MP10 in vehicle mode. You can see they look quite nice together. And again, here he is with little minifigures of Spike and Daniel. I think those are included, but I'm not 100% sure. And on this little bit, you can see it says actual size and shows Ultra Magnus here. So that's crazy. That's like really a lot bigger than I was anticipating. Look at like that's his, yeah, that's huge. All right, so I'm gonna stop talking about the box because you guys just don't care about that. Here's the top. You don't care about the box. You want me to open this and check them out in hand, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do, and I will see you guys in just. Okay guys, so here is Masterpiece Ultra Magnus, and with all the MPs we get some paper goods. So for starters, we get the collector card here, Masterpiece Ultra Magnus, with his crazy stats on the back there. So there's that, and of course the instruction manual. Well, of course the mail-in little ticket. The instruction manual, very nice image on the front, by the way. With just the, you know, instructions and all the accessories and things like that. And on the back, we see the Ultra Magnus throughout the years pictures. So, very nice. And you just get that stuff. Other than that, he's got a couple other accessories, none of which are really useful in vehicle mode here, but he does have two. You get a Daniel and a Spike. Now, as you can see, they are very basic figurines with no head articulation. This kind of, you know, they're painted, I guess. So we've got hips and knees and arms, and that's all the articulation we got going on here. Same on Spike. So there you go. So now you can have a proper Spike to go with your Bumblebee, if you so desire. And but otherwise, they can actually go in Magnus's cab. And I want to show you guys a pretty cool feature that I didn't know anything about until I actually got this guy out of the package and was kind of messing around with him here. if you turn them over like so, there's this little white tab here, and if you just press that, boop, yeah, you can detach the cab from the trailer, which I thought was pretty cool. I really was impressed by that. You do kind of see Magnus's head just chilling out underneath there, but that's all right. Not a big deal. But you can actually come over here and just open this up, and you can see a couple little seats in there that you can take your little guys and just kind of seat them more or less. It's a tight squeeze. It's a tight squeeze. There we go. We got it. We just got to kind of wiggle their little feet around to kind of get them in there. But you can see they do fit. And then you got your little derpy guys just hanging out there in the front. So just close that up. And it all closes and locks up. And yeah, you've got your Ultra Magnus. So here he is in vehicle form. You can see very nice chrome on the headlights and the grille with the weird red bumper from the cartoon. He's got the smokestacks going on. So pretty nice, pretty nicely detailed. He does in fact have rubber tires. Some of you may be super excited to know that. He does have rubber tires. I am completely indifferent. However, I will be vehemently against these rubber tires should they start to crack and fall apart in a few years. That's why I kind of don't mind plastic tires, because they will hold up, with different temperature changes and all that fun stuff. So we can just plug this guy back together. There we go. And he can roll right along. Now, of course, he's got his little missile launchers here, and if you would rather have a more G1 looking Ultra Magnus, you can of course just flip the missile launchers around so they're sticking out the front like so, or you can have them out to the side thusly. They are, you can have them facing any direction you want really. And you can of course pull the missiles out. They don't fire, but they do come out, and they have kind of a little tip on the end. So I guess you probably could modify this to fire if you wanted to stick a spring in there. But you would have to do some heavy modifications that you probably don't want to bother with. So I'll just stick that right back in there. His gun stores up here in the back, and we can pull this around. And by the way, his feet are die-cast metal. Right here, this whole back area here. He's got more metal up in the waist section of the robot mode, so there is die-cast going on there. But anyway, you can flip these bits down here and get your Autobot cars. Actually, might as well lower this portion. Okay. And it doesn't quite go down all the way, so you gotta kind of fudge it a little bit. But you can get some cars up here on the top if you so desire. And just make sure you plug it all back in like so. Okay, you got them up there. Then we'll grab Bumblebee again and just bring these guys up and in the back, and you can fit, four of the Autobot cars up on the top there. It's not perfect, but they'll go. You can close it up and roll out. So very, very cool. Very nice. All right, so let me pause the video here, get a little sip of water, and we'll be back with the transformation to robot mode. Alright guys, so really quickly, we'll just show off. I showed the cars in the back of the vehicle, but here, let me back this up a little bit so you can kind of see what's going on. Here we have one of the Autobot cars, pretty standard size, just chilling next to the cab. The cab is the same, really the same size as Prime MP10, so let me just pop that off. And we'll just get MP10 in here for just a moment. I'm not transforming him to vehicle mode because, frankly, I don't have the time nor the patience. So, but you can see they are really pretty much the same size. Say basically identical, and that's cool. I really do like that. You know, kind of harking back to Magnus always just being a white repaint of Optimus Prime. But to transform him to robot mode, what you want to do is you want to reattach the cab to the trailer, like so. And then we're going to come on back here. We're going to separate these bits here. I'm going to pull this all apart to get the gun out, like so. And we'll just take that and flip the handle out and just set that off to the side. Oh, we probably want to rescue Mr. Witwicky from the cab as well, so we'll just pull this little guy out. That could be awkward. We're going to pull these forward a little bit here, and these panels are actually just going to go up and in. You just want to push them enough so that the little tab comes out of the top here. And those are going to kind of make room for things. Things and stuff. We're going to separate the back like so. And then pull these panels out. And just flip them in on the side. I'm just going to kind of get those out of the way. Now with these bits, and I've only done this once, so I'm trying to kind of remember everything as best I can. We're going to flip these. We're going to flip this half over, and it's going to lock in like so. And that's going to form the arm. Okay? So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're just going to pull this out and around, kind of flip this over, and it's going to lock in there. Okay? On the cab, we're going to take the smokestacks and we're just going to twist them around and fold them up just like that. Now we got kind of this big giant mess going here, and we're going to take these red side bits, okay, and we are going to turn them around to the back. They have a little catch up here, so you just got to pull them off of that and pull them down, and then fold those bits down like so. So if you want to pull it, fold it down, and then fold it up, and then you can take this whole section here and just fold that up like so. Now for the feet, you want to just pull the wheels out and then flip them around to show off the fake wheels for the robot mode, and then just push them back up just like that. So there you have his legs pretty much done. So we're going to come back up to the top here, and so we're going to kind of keep everything out here. We're going to take this blue panel, we're going to pull this down, and that's going to form his waist and hip area. We want to take the back of the cab, and this whole section is going to fold out and down and just lock into place there, like so. Coming around to the back here, we're going to pull this down. Oh, wait. We're actually going to push the wheels in, and they're going to lock into place on the sides of this clear red bit that has the locking mechanism for the cab. And that's going to make sure that the cab section doesn't flop around. Like, it's super tight. Like you can see, it's not flopping around anymore. So that's very nicely done. Then we're going to bring the this section down like so. We're going to open the top of the cab up, flip that panel up like so. This guy right here. We'll just go up like that. We're going to separate this, and it's going to flip up and under just like that, and just kind of fill in that area. Also, you want to flip in the side mirrors as well. Now we're going to take these side pieces from the cab, we're going to pull these out, bring them up and around, and you can see there's a little tab or a little post right here. You're going to plug those into the wheel wells, or the wheels rather, on the sides. Kind of lock that all into place, just like so. And I know a lot of people have been going on and on about this butt flap. You can just flip it up if you want to. Okay? It doesn't have to sit down. It flips up. It doesn't look great, but it's not the end of the world. Like, I think people make kind of a bigger deal out of it than it needs to be. But there's also a little tab right here and a hole in the front of the cab that you just want to kind of line up and plug in like so. Now we're going to take the sides, just like this, just fold them in, and there's a tab here and a slot here. Just going to tab that in, and it should go a little more securely than that. There we go. It just needs to plug in on this side as well. There we go. And it'll all snap into place, and it'll hold nice and tight. Then we're going to flip the arms up forward, just like so. Bring them down. These top bits, you can see, are going to unplug here. Just flip right around, plug into the top. And then this panel is going to just flip up and over and just plug in right there like so. Shoulder missiles will go on like that. Do the same on the other side. Just flip this whole section forward. Flip this around. Come on. There we go. Plug that in. Twist that. Flip it down. Turn the arm. Bring that down like so. Now for the hands. Simple. Just going to pull this back, apart, and snap it together a little further up. Same deal over here. And there we go. And now we're going to turn the head around, and we're just going to slide it forward. It's a little slider. Just slides up forward and into place. And there you have Masterpiece Ultra Magnus. Let's move him back here. And he is very, very large. A lot bigger than I honestly thought he was going to be. And I gotta be honest, I'm not terribly thrilled with his size. Overall, I have to say that, you know, I'm just not as excited for this guy as I have been for most Masterpieces. And I know I mentioned that before, and actually having him in hand, it's even more so. Like, this guy, he's nice. There's nothing really glaringly wrong with this figure, but at the same time, it just seems kind of flat to me, and I don't know why. But let me pause for just a minute, and we'll come back with some size comparisons. That's the word I'm looking for, so give me just a moment. Alright, so as I mentioned before, he does have the capability to hold the matrix in his chest, so let me just show this guy off real quick. Sorry about the floating camera syndrome, but he is a little bit more tall than I was anticipating. So, as you can see, he's got a very nice, well, it's a decent face. It's not my favorite, but it's decent. And to change the face, you actually get a separate face for this guy, which pretty awesomely you can store back here. So you can keep his screaming face and his normal face both on here if you wanted him to go faceless. So he does have that screaming face back there. And to change that out, you just come up to the front. And literally, you're just going to kind of pull his face off, just like so. It's just back there. You just pop it off the peg and switch out the new one. And underneath, you can see he's got a little bit of a throwback. He's got a white kind of G1-ish Optimus Prime face under there. So that's pretty neat, I guess. And you just plug the face head back on to replace it, just like so. And there you go. Articulation-wise, let me bring this back here. He's got the arms can go all the way around. He's got a little bit of a burden trying to get his arms out to the side. They really don't go out to the side very far. You can see there's this red swivel inside there, and it can move, but because of the stacks and just the shoulders in general, he's got a little bit of a hard time getting his arms up without threatening to bend or break this connection right here, unless you pull the connector out and kind of leave it floating out there a little bit, and then you can bend that. He's got nice bicep swivel and ratcheting elbows. His hands are on ball joints, actually. You just pop those off to replace them with the other pair of hands that he comes with, and it's a little tight, like so. See, just like that, a little rubber connection in there. You just pop those back on, and there you go. He does have articulated fingers, but it is just the forefinger, and it looks like it's jointed the same way that Prime's is, but it's actually not. It's just molded to kind of look that way. It is fixed in this position. The thumb does not move, and then the last 3 digits are all fused. So those are his hands. He does not have any waist articulation, just due to the transformation, really. He does have hips going out. They ratchet forward and back. His knees ratchet. I'm sure he's got a swivel here up at the upper thigh, and it seems, no, maybe he doesn't. I'm not sure if he does or does not have a swivel at the knee, at just the top of the knee. Maybe he doesn't. It almost seems like he does not. There's a cut there, but I think it's just for, kind of parts building of the figure rather than a usable joint. He does have some. Let's see. He does have a swivel in his ankle, or a tilt rather, and you can see it fills in pretty nicely there on the side. So that's pretty cool. So you can get some nice wider stances with him, and that's neat. And of course he does hold his gun. We'll show that in just a second. Here we go. There's a little gun. Make sure the post is out. Usual, stick it right in there. And there you go. He's holding his gun. And he holds it very well, very tight. He does have a matrix compartment in his chest, very, very much like in the movie, which is really cool. So you go ahead and unclip this piece and just lift that right up. And then these doors will pop open, and you can see in there he's got a little compartment that will hold the matrix that comes with MP10 just inside there, where he will find out that it doesn't do diddly squat for him. So there you go. So yeah, he's pretty cool, but like I said, they're just not. I don't know, just not feeling it as much with this guy, and part of it is his size, I think. So here's a quick size comparison. There he is. Here he is with Wheeljack, and even with his Wheeljack Sweet Santa hat, he's only coming up to Magnus's pelvis there. Without it, he's, much shorter. So there's Wheeljack. Obviously, you guys have seen the images of him with Prime, Prime is a lot smaller. Because you gotta remember, the cab of this guy is the same exact size as the cab for Prime, but Prime's cab is his entire robot mode, whereas the Prime for this guy is basically just the head and the chest. So you got to keep that in mind. And here's the biggest bummer to me about his size. Here he is with MP8 Grimlock, and he's towering over Grimlock, and that's even with the Scoria boots that Grimlock is wearing. So he's even shorter. Normally you'd only be up to about here on him, and not only is he a lot shorter, but Magnus is just so much wider. He's just this is like what I wanted out of Masterpiece Grimlock, like this size and like just bulk. Yeah, so there they are, kind of together, the leaders, the Autobot leaders. But I mean, realistically, he's not a bad toy. He's not even a bad Masterpiece toy. It's just, I don't know, maybe he's just, there's just something missing there. And I can't peg what it is, but I do like MP Magnus. I don't want to put that impression that I dislike it. There's just something missing, that it just, there's not that excitement for me there. So, yeah. One last quick accessory I did forget to mention, he does have these extra hands. You can see there is a cutout here. You can stick the matrix that comes with MP10 in there, and so he'll hold it, you know, in the trying to open it kind of motion. So he does come with those. These hands are just like kind of, they're hard rubber, but they are rubber. So just be careful with them, because they will probably, you know, be prone to picking up scuff marks and things like that. So just a heads up. So real quickly, here are the Spike and Daniel figures that come with Magnus. There you go. He almost seems just, I don't know if they're too small or what, but here's Bumblebee. It looks like he just drop kicked Bumblebee. Oh, so terrible. But yeah, that's Masterpiece Ultra Magnus. Pretty cool figure. Definitely, I will say this, he's definitely worth the asking price. Especially if you can get him, you know, at a good price, like HLJ or someplace like that. I think I paid right around $120 for him, which is like a really nice price for this size and complexity of a figure. And I'll say this also, the transformation, it's involved, but it's not difficult. It's very simple and very kind of intuitive once you get used to it, you know, once you've done it once or twice. You totally get used to it. You can do it no problem. I did it without the instructions both times, you know, forward and back. So it wasn't too difficult. So really a good figure. Just doesn't hit me in that nostalgia spot maybe that I'm hoping for. But that, guys, is going to do it for this review. I want to thank you so very much, as always, for watching. I really do appreciate it. Stay tuned. We've got more Transformers coming up real soon, so stick around and subscribe. And thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.